Hey, what's up? I'm DJ Sixsmith. Welcome to Sit Down. Christopher Mintz-Plasse is here with us, Blark and Son on Comedy Central. Christopher, nice to meet you, man. How are you?
Yeah, thanks, man. I'm doing well, staying safe and healthy in these crazy times. I hope you're doing the same.
I'm right there with you, man. And you're staying busy too, which I love. You got the music thing going on. You also have the great animated series in Blark and Son. What's this whole experience been like? Because, I'm watching the episodes from this season. They're hilarious. There's a lot of room for freedom here. What have been some of the best parts of the experience?
Yeah, this is a really cool and special project to me and some of my friends because it was created by people I've known for 15 years, two of my closest friends. One, Ben Bayouth, who voices Blark, is actually an incredible special effects artist. He's working on The Masked Singer right now. He makes every single costume on that show just to show his brilliance. He had an idea 5 years ago of this was before like Instagram TV and anything, and it was just like minute-long videos on Instagram. He wanted to make a puppet show strictly for Instagram, 30-second episodes, where he made the puppets of a father and a son. And he asked me to be the son. I was like, yeah, man, like it sounds great. Me, you, and his buddy Adam, like we've known each other for so long. Let's get creative. Let's have fun. And we put it up on Instagram, and Comedy Central saw it, and they loved it, and they wanted to make it an actual show on their YouTube channel. So we like finally got a budget. We made more characters. We got, Donald Faison, Jim Rash from Community, Deborah Baker Jr. We got Justin Roiland from Rick and Morty on season 1. And it got like a small kind of niche following. And season 2's coming out. We got Jane Lynch for this one too. It's very exciting.
That's really awesome. So what's the craziest part of just starting this up with your friends and now turning into something where it actually has a budget and you get to put it on YouTube for Comedy Central? Like that's pretty nuts when you think about it.
Yeah, it's kind of the dream, right? Like there's nothing better than working with your friends. And it started like there was no budget. No one was making any money. I think Ben put in like 5,000 of his own dollars maybe to get the show going. And then as it slowly progressed, the cool thing was we brought more of our friends in. We brought one of our best friends from high school to write, to direct, to edit it, to make music for it. So like at the end of the day, we got like 9 of our friends that we've known for 15 years involved. And I think it kind of shows in the end product. There's a lot of love and care and chemistry that went into it.
What do you think is most important when you're doing voice acting? Because even with this show, it's a very specific tone, it's a very specific voice. What do you like to focus on with this?
Yeah, I think you get a lot of freedom and creativity when you're in a room. I think on set, you get maybe 2 or 3 takes to do a full scene, but here you can kind of sit with the dialogue and, they probably hate it, but I'll do like 7 or 9 different line readings for each line. Like I'll just go because you can be in there for as long as you want, like you're like, Dad, get out, Dad, get out, Dad, get out. Dad, get out. And like by the 10th one, they're like, dude, shut up. We got it. Like we got it. But I want to make sure, they get everything. They get the perfect take.
So what was it like hearing Jane Lynch for season 2?
It's awesome. I mean, she's great. She's only in 1 or 2 episodes, I believe. It's all we could, afford in COVID times is very crazy. So we only got her for a day. But she's fantastic. I mean, she's a great actress and she's a comedy force. We're very lucky.
So you mentioned going back 15 years with your relationship with Ben. When you think about your career, like kind of paint the picture for me. What did you want to do? Who are some of the people you looked up to when you were a kid in high school and thinking about doing this thing?
Yeah. It's pretty surreal. I think Superbad came out maybe like 14 years ago, about right around that time. It was intense to be 17 years old and have a movie come out like that. And, it came out, I think it was like the #1 movie in America when it came out. It was very, very surreal and cool, but also really intense for a teenager to walk into, an In-N-Out burger and have everyone know your face. So it was gnarly for a minute. And, I didn't really understand how to like carve out a career path. I kind of was just reading whatever I connected to and whoever I wanted to work with. So I was lucky enough to like work with a bunch of really talented people and to this day, still doing it.
What was the biggest surprise to you about the response to Superbad? Because it's one thing for a movie to hit, but to have a character that's so iconic in Fogel and McLovin, like that's just a whole different level.
Yeah. I mean, not right now because of the pandemic. I'm not leaving the house, but usually pre-pandemic, I would get recognized a bunch just at Whole Foods or wherever I'm going. And that kind of speaks, I guess, to the movie a little bit that 14 years later, people still care. It's really endearing. It's exciting.
You also did Role Models right after there, which was a really fun movie. What are some of your
Yeah.
favorite memories from that one?
That was awesome. I was a huge fan of David Wayne. Wet Hot American Summer is one of the best comedies of all time. And, Paul Rudd is a legend. And I got to work with Sean William Scott, which was cool because he was remembered for Stifler for a very long time. So we had many conversations. He's kind of like a guiding light on how do I not get boggled down in the McLovin thing? How do I not let it get to me? So I think those conversations were very important to me as well.
Yeah, I mean, if anybody would understand it, it would certainly be him. So how have you kind of flowed with things over time? Because like you said, it could be this great thing, it could be something that you're known for. I mean, how do you think about the full picture and how long does that really take as you go along here?
Yeah, the biggest thing I took away from him was how incredibly nice he was. And that movie American Pie had been out for over 12 years or so. So he had been dealing with it for a long time, and he was the nicest person on earth. And he didn't let it get to him at all. And I took that with me. But the McLovin thing was definitely intense when I was young, when I was like 20 and 21, and I was like trying to discover who I am as a person. And I have all these people kind of screaming something at me, and I'm like, I'm more than McLovin. I'm an actor. Rah, rah, rah. But like now I'm 32 and a lot more comfortable in my own skin. And I think it's honestly, like, I think it's really great that people want to talk about the character in the movie.
Yeah, and everybody goes through their own experience. Like even Jonah Hill has talked about it too, and it can be a great thing. But like you were a 17-year-old kid, you're in your 20s, you're trying to figure yourself out. Like everybody goes through their own stuff, and for people to just know you as one thing, like that's just limiting. But at least it
Yeah.
gives you better perspective now. So I'm glad you got to go through that. But it's hard enough to just do that in general, but to do that in front of everybody is not an easy thing, man.
Yeah, it was definitely intense when you're like 18 and you're like, I want to go to Chipotle. And then you walk in and there's people like across the hall screaming at you. And you're like, okay, well, everybody knows I'm here. Like 40 people know, it's very intense, but I'm very grateful for all of it.
Yeah, no question about it. So when you think about your career now, you obviously have a lot of different things going on. What else still piques your interest? What are some other areas you'd still like to explore?
Well, during the pandemic, it's been tough to kind of get the acting thing going. Not a lot of things were going for the first 9 months, and I think slowly things are starting to pick back up. So hopefully something gets going there. But I've been making a ton of music with my band during the quarantine, which is great. I'm in my back studio right now. We set it up for recording. We've been doing a lot of that. I was lucky enough to shoot a scene in Promising Young Woman right before the pandemic, like 6 months before it, which was just great. And I've never been a part of something like that. Carrie Mulligan is such a force. And so hopefully when things get back to being a little normal, we can get back to work.
For people who haven't checked out your music, how would you describe your sound?
Uh, I'd say like alternative rock. We're very My Morning Jacket inspired, Tame Impala, Led Zeppelin. And right now we're doing a bunch of guest singers on our vocals. So we've got some female singers coming in. We got some friends singing over some stuff. Just a big collaborative effort for sure.
Good deal, man. Well, thanks so much for hanging out. Congrats on season 2 of the show, and we'll talk to you down the road. All right.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Thanks for letting us promote. The show comes out this Saturday, the 30th, and then it's on every Saturday and Sunday.